Daniel Zellhuber will face Francisco Prado at UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Royval 2. Let's talk about it. All right, Daniel Zellhuber. Guy is scrappy. A lot of fights he gets in typically turn out to be brawls, and this guy tends to be the guy that comes out on top. Very, very rangy, likes to fight at range. However, I will note that even though he does like to fight at range, he does get hit on the back foot. His striking is good, but I would say on the back foot against an opponent who's quick and who's a good striker and explosive and has good footwork, he will get caught. He's not quite as fluid on the back foot as he is when his opponent is standing at range and not pressuring him too much and doesn't have the best footwork and isn't the best striker. He has a really good check left hook, I will say. Zellhuber, it's real quick. And again, because he's very long and rangy, he's able to throw it from outside range too. He's able to really see his, especially if his opponent is someone who's of the caliber of Francisco Prado, someone who's a very big power puncher and who likes to use a lot of hooks, a lot of big winding shots. He'll get a good read, and I could see him favoring that check left hook in this fight, and it could possibly be it could be the fight ending shot, but we'll get to the predictions at the end, but that's just a possibility I could definitely see happening. He doesn't throw too many kicks, Zellhuber, even though he's got, I would say, a great build for to be a kicker because he has long legs, and he's also got long arms too, so he would be able to kick and then frame away. But the guy doesn't throw a lot of kicks, oddly. He's got decent BJJ. He got a quick anaconda over Christos Giagos. I hope I'm saying his last name right. I believe it's Giagos. He got a really good anaconda choke. It was real quick. Although a lot of his fights are just straight up stand up brawls. That was a good choke. So he's at least the threat is there. The guy probably has a few chokes up his sleeve. He's got those long, lengthy arms. I wouldn't say skinny arms, but long, lengthy arms. So the guy could probably throw in a really good Dars. Probably has a nice guillotine. Probably wouldn't want him on your back. His fight against Almeida was an absolute war. Good scrap too. Showed a lot of heart in Zellhuber because in that first round, Almeida was cracking him. And that's what I mean by, you can crack him on the back foot when he's, on the back foot. If you're a good striker and you're quick and you have decent footwork, because in that first round, Almeida was definitely coming in, throwing a lot of good combinations, landing a lot of clean punches on Zellhuber's chin. But Zellhuber showed a lot of heart, and he showed to have a good chin because he made it through that first round. Almeida gassed. And then Zellhuber was able to actually evade a lot of his shots, and he started, pretty much piecing up Almeida for the last 2 rounds. I thought Almeida did land some shots, but it was mostly Zellhuber picking apart Almeida at range. So that was a really good fight for Zellhuber. But yeah, also his fight against Vignata, the same thing, kind of a brawl. But still great outing. He ultimately won the fight. Kind of beat the guy up on the feet and even took him down in the last round, I think, towards the end. Just another good showcase for Zellhuber. So Zellhuber's a real solid guy. But he does get hit on his back foot. And his chin is exposed, I do believe, a lot of the times, even when he's striking at range. I think someone who could throw a good overhand, um, kind of intercept a jab with a good overhand, or if someone was able to uh, slip and throw a good hook or slip on the inside, throw a decent combination, maybe something the body to bring his hands down, to expose his chin more. I could definitely see him getting caught on the chin because it is exposed, I think, a lot. But his defense, that's not to say his defense is bad. He's got good defensive qualities, but I do think his chin is exposed sometimes when he's throwing and when he's on the back foot. Now, Francisco Prado, this guy's really strong, very explosive. He throws a lot of big punches. Usually there's not a whole lot, there's not a whole lot of boxing or footwork. He just kind of throws big, powerful, explosive shots. You definitely don't want to get hit by one, but I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of technique behind them. Guy has vicious ground and pound, decent wrestling. At least when it comes to the feet, when he takes guys down, he's able to kind of, he's definitely a very strong, powerful guy. Has a low center of gravity. Picks guys up, slams them down. I've seen, a lot of his regional fights that he was able to get a lot of takedowns through body locks, just picking guys up and slamming them down. And the guy has vicious ground and pound, so once he gets him down, you're kind of in a world of hurt. Even if you have guard, the guy just pummels guys through their guard. Seems to have a pretty good top game overall. I've seen him get a submission finish. I think it was a head and arm choke from the top position on the regional scene. So I think he has an overall good top game. Vicious ground and pound for sure. I think the only fight or the only victory he's had in the UFC so far was a quick finish over a Zaitar, which, for all intents and purposes, that was a quick fight. Didn't get to see a lot happen. A Zaitar backed up against the cage, and then I think I'm not 100% sure if he got caught with an elbow or if he got caught with a hook. But anyway, he got caught, and then he was finished brutally on the ground because that's what Prado does. Prado, definitely, if he gets on top of you in any type of advantageous position and is able to throw punches at you and you're not able to defend and sprawl correctly, you are going to get annihilated because this guy is definitely a powerful dude. However, he did lose a decision against Jamie Malarkey, and I think that showcased a lot of the guy's weaknesses, and that being the guy gasses quickly because he's throwing bombs and he's trying to power through his punches, power through a lot of his takedowns. The guy is, there's a lot of steam behind everything, and because there's a lot of steam behind everything, it's going to take a lot of this. It's going to take a lot out of your stamina, and I think that fight against Malarkey showed that. It also showed a lot of the cracks in his stand-up game, that being that he's not very technical, and if he can't get to you and just blast you, then you can start to see a lot of weaknesses in his game, such as him being susceptible to a jab, susceptible to low kicks, that kind of a thing. Also, he's kind of one note. He's just gonna want to wing one hard punch, and there's not gonna really be any follow up behind it. So that allows for a lot of easy reads. Very one dimensional in that sense. He gassed in that fight, and he wasn't able to do much. And his wrestling, even though he's a big, strong, powerful dude, his wrestling on a technical level probably isn't the highest that it should be at the UFC. If you're getting out wrestled by Jamie Malarkey, no offense against Jamie Malarkey, but if you're not able to at least, scramble out and get out of, at least put up a better fight than kind of letting Jamie Malarkey drown you, then you're probably not ready for. I personally don't think that he's ready for the grappling of Zellhuber. Now, I don't think Zellhuber is probably a better wrestler than Malarkey, but he's a strong, powerful dude, and he does have decent BJJ. And while Prado is a strong, powerful dude himself, I think that Zellhuber just has a lot of grit, and I don't think it's going to be easy for Prado to just hold the guy down. And I also think on the feet that um, even though Daniel Zellhuber did get cracked against Almeida, Almeida has, I think he has better striking overall than Prado. When he was hitting Zellhuber with some pretty crisp shots, and Zellhuber took him well. Um, I think Zellhuber is probably going to, you know, he's not going to have to worry about being on the back foot too much because Prado doesn't really follow up the combinations. He just kind of throws one punch and he keeps rushing at you with one thing. And that's really easy to read for someone like Zellhuber. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about him getting caught too much when he's on the back foot. And honestly, I can see Prado going for like a bad takedown and getting caught in a guillotine, possibly. So, um, yeah, I think there's many ways for Zellhuber to win this fight. Personally, I think Francisco Prado is a strong, scary, explosive, powerful dude, but I think this is a bad matchup for him because I think Zellhuber is better than Jamie Malarkey personally. Um, and I think a lot of his skill set is going to negate a lot of Francisco Prado's skill set. I think Prado can take Zellhuber down, but I mean, who knows if he wants to take him down. Zellhuber might have decent enough BJJ to get submission off his back. I think on the feet, Prado does present a threat early on, but I think Zellhuber, as the fight goes on, is going to be, it's just going to go more and more in his favor, especially if it stays on the feet, which I think it will stay on the feet for most of the fight. So I don't see the fight ending in a finish early, but I do see it ending in a finish probably mid to late third round, I want to say. I can definitely see it happening when Francisco Prado's tired, when he's expended a lot of energy trying to finish Zellhuber and it hasn't worked. He's tried to take him down, hasn't been successful with the takedowns because Zellhuber's scrappy and he's been able to get up. So, yeah, I could see Zellhuber getting a KO victory with a check left hook on Francisco Prado after throwing a lunging hook or a lunging shot of some sort. His hands down, he's tired, and I can see him getting caught. That's how I see the fight going. And if it doesn't end on the feet from the initial shot, I see Zellhuber able to find the submission on the ground from a tired, fatigued, and dazed Francisco Prado. But that's just my prediction, guys. You know, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you like the video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you like the content, and I'll talk to you guys later.